Okay, so I'm going to hop into Autodesk Maya. So I told you about this P-cut script, and so you can download that, and where you'd want to put it is in your Documents folder under Maya, and in my case I've got it under Maya 2017, Prefs, and then Scripts, and you just download the script and put it there. And once it's there, then you could go to your script editor, which is right here. Let's clear all of that out. And so I could say, so once I've got it loaded, what I could say here is load script, and go to Documents, Maya 2017 Prefs, Scripts, pcut.mil, open. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to source it. Now you're not going to have to do this every time. Or if you just restart Maya, that would work too. But what I can do is source a script, and what that essentially does is it like loads it into memory. Okay, and then when you run it at the end of the script, if you were to source it, it would actually run it. And this would be the last. Well, actually, no, it's up here somewhere. Anyway, we're not going to get into scripting right now, but just if you run it, or if you source it, it'll run the program. If you want to make a window, or pardon me, a button for it on your shelf, I've got it here. So I can click on it, it just brings it up. It's just a toolbar that I wrote, that I use, updated from time to time, and I'll probably need to tweak it a little bit for Maya 2017. These are the tools that I use for box modeling most often. You don't have to use this, or you could take this and customize it, or you could use any tool set you'd like. It just depends on your own taste. My videos, I'm going to be using it, so I just wanted you to be aware of that. The way to put it on your shelf will just be this P-cut, middle mouse drag it up here and save it as a mail script. Then you can right click, edit, and this is the command. I could go up to shelves, give it a name. P-cut. And I could choose browse here for an icon if I wanted. Save all shelves, so that if I click on it, it's going to bring the script up again. So it should work if you've restarted Maya or if you source it. And the first time you load it, you're probably going to get a wacky window like that. So if you just push it over, then from then on out, it should load just fine. Email me if you have a problem with that. Okay, I'm also going to get into the programs that I typically, the commands that I typically use when I'm modeling. So, got our modeling window on. Let's go over here to okay, so I'm going to start at create a of course a cube or whatever, and then in the select window, I'll open up that modify window. Let's open that. Display window. Let's open that. Mesh. Edit mesh, and I'll hide this for now. Mesh tools, Okay, and then I'm also going to make a new shelf. So just to show you what tools that I use. So let's make a new shelf. Just call it
everything's gonna be all right.
Box model.
Everything's gonna be all right. All right.
Okay, so these are the tools that I use most often.
You'll see everything's gonna be
So I've got reset transforms, and in order to put a, you probably already know this, but in order to put a menu item up on a shelf, if you just hold down Control and Shift and then left mouse click, that'll add it to your shelf. So Control Shift, left mouse click. So reset transforms, freeze transforms, center pivot. Under select, I would use convert selection. Why don't I just tear off this window too? So to tear a window off, you just click here. That'll tear it off, and so I don't need this one anymore. So convert selection to edge loop and edge ring. Under modify, so I think we got everything we need there. Under display, oh, I forgot something to edit, and that's going to be delete by type history. Okay. Under display, we've got polygons, backface culling, Control Shift click, and that's a toggle. Mesh tools. Append a polygon is a good one. It's probably one I should add to my little tool thing I've got. Create polygon. Insert edge loop. The multi-cut tool. Use slide edges. Okay, under mesh, combine and separate. I'll use fill a hole. Then there's also mirror. Now if you Control Shift click with the option box, that'll give you options when you click on that on any of these tools. If they got an option, just click the option box. Edit mesh, definitely collapse, detach, extrude, merge with the option box, transform, delete edge and vertex, extract, kind of crazy great. Then there's harden and soften edge. Those are always good. Unlock normals. Use that sometimes. Set to face. I also use cleanup from time to time, so I guess I could put that in there. But for the most part, those are the tools that I use quite a bit. If I go back to the P-cut tool that I just made. If I middle mouse drag it onto here, that'll now appear on this shelf. And let's review what some of these tools do. So I'm going to go into mesh tools, or mesh, pardon me. I'm going to smooth this box. You can hit G to repeat the last command. So my box is now a sphere, and it's got all quads, which is good. And I usually always keep the wireframe unshaded on. 4 key will take you to wireframe 5, smooth shaded. Now, earlier I told you about back face culling, so what this does is it hides your back faces, the ones that you can't see, and it makes it a lot easier to select things. If I move something around, and it's out here, if I hit freeze transformations, well, now this is going to be at the 0 point. So you don't do that. I can reset transformations, which take it back to where it was. If I were to freeze and then reset, it's going to set the pivot point at the origin. Or I could say center pivot, and that would then put the pivot point back at the center of the model. So use that quite a bit. Also, you'll notice that as you do stuff, if we grab some verts, move them around, you know, maybe extrude something. Extrude. Okay, so then if you then look at the object and what the inputs, eventually this is going to become a big huge list, and so I delete history quite often. Keeps the model clean and easy to work with. I rarely have to go back and ever adjust the history, but it's nice to have it there just in case.